Welcome to the 5th tutorial of my scripting playlist. Today we're going to learn about instances. So I'm going to go into Workspace and I'm going to create this part and I'm going to name it cool part. To set a variable for this part, I can say local part equals, and then I can do game. So game is what contains Workspace and server script service and replicated storage and all that other stuff. So then I can do game.workspace. And then I can make it game.workspace.coolPart so I can get to my part. Let's say I want to change the transparency property of the part. So I would do part.transparency, and it says here I have to put a number. So part.transparency equals 0.5. And if I run the code, then you can see that the part's transparency is 0.5. So if I start typing part.transparency, you can see that this thing pops up where it says transparency as a suggestion. And if you look right here, there's kind of like a cube here, and that just means that that's a property of the part that you can change. But if I type part.material, then you can see that it has a different symbol. It has these 3 lines. This just means it can be found in enum, which is a big database. So I can type enum.material, and then I can type another dot, and it will give me a ton of suggestions of materials that I can use. So if I select brick and then I run the code, then you can see that the part's material is brick and the transparency is 0.5. Now I'm going to show you how to edit the position, size, and orientation. If I type part.position, then you can see that it says vector3 right here. So I could type part.position equals vector3.new, so that's just making a new vector. And then I can paste the position in here, but I can change the y value by 5. And if I run the code, then it's 5 studs in the air. But a better way of doing this is changing the equal sign to a plus and then an equal sign, so we can add on to the position. Because then I can make it say plus equals vector3.new 0, 5, 0 to make the position go up by 5 in the y value. Then if I run the code, the part will be 5 studs higher. I can change the size by doing part.size equals vector3.new 5, 5, 5, and that will make it 5 studs wide, tall, and thick. I can also do part.orientation plus equals vector3.new 45, 0, 0 to make it 45 degrees more in the y-axis. And if I run the code, then you can see it worked. To change the color, I can do part.C color equals color3.new. And then I can add the parentheses, and you can see this color palette. And if I click on this color palette, then it will take me to this, where I can basically select any color I want. So if I make it dark red, and then I run the code, then you can see the part is dark red. I can also change the can collide property of false to make it so you can't run through it. And as you can see, it works. So if I scroll through all these suggestions, and I find one that has a lightning bolt, then this is called an event. If I make a function and I call it something like part touch event, then I make it change the color to blue. Then I do part.touched connect part touch event. Then if I go and touch this part, then it becomes blue. An easier way of doing this is part.touched connect function, but I remove that one parenthesis at the end. I add my own pair of parentheses, and then I select the end of the line, and then I press enter. Basically, the code inside here will run when the part gets touched. So now if I make it change the color to blue, then it turns blue whenever I touch the part. Now I'm going to show you built-in functions. If I do part and then I add a colon, then you can see all these suggestions. If I choose one, for example, part destroy, then when I run the code, the part is destroyed. Last example, if I put my cursor in this parentheses, then it suggests me to put other part. Basically, I can put a variable in here, and I could call it like other, and this would be the part that it touched. So if I do other destroy, then it will destroy whatever part touches it. So if I touch it, it just starts destroying me. Anyways, if you enjoyed that video, then stay tuned, because I'm going to be dropping another tutorial every day.